Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, like always, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha Kodash. Double honors to our apostles, our elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth. It's your brother Zariah Allah down here at the GMS Virginia camp, back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And the title of this lesson is The Elect. The elect of the nation of Israel will overcome this captivity. Okay, we know that all Israel shall be saved according to the scripture in Romans the 9th chapter and so on and so forth. All right, but predominantly I'm speaking about the elect overcoming what we're catching right now, because we know 2/3 of our people are going to die in Babylon the Great. All right, 2/3 of our people are going to be slaughtered. All right, but what? The elect of the nation of Israel, okay, are going to be delivered. They're going to overcome this wicked ass flesh. They're going to overcome the trials and tribulations and so on and so forth. And I just want to grab a couple precepts to prove that. Starting off of Philippians chapter 4 and verse 13, it says, I can do all things through Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, which strengthened me. All right. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is strengthening us. How is the Lord strengthening us? Through these scriptures, through this word. Okay, with faith. All right, now I touched on 2 Corinthians the 4th chapter. I wanted to finish out that chapter, because that pretty much goes into what the title of this lesson is. So I want to go to 2 Corinthians chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 6. It says, for the Most High Yahweh, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, have shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of Yahweh in the face of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Right. So how do you think we're going to overcome, the elect? We call ourselves the hopeful elect. How do you think we're going to overcome Jacob's trouble? Because when you read Jeremiah 30th chapter, it says Jacob's trouble and he shall be saved out of it, that he is the elect. Okay, so with that being said, how is the elect going to make it through it? What makes them equipped? What makes them qualified to be able to scarcely be saved? Salakia, scarcely be saved, and essentially, okay, make it in a twinkling of an eye. Okay, what type of faith or what type of works do they got to put in to overcome that? Okay, who do they have to be serving? Okay, and to answer those questions, hey, they got to be serving Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, they have to be chosen from the beginning. All right, and they have to put in the work, meaning they have to pray, they have to fast, they have to be brotherly, they have to show charity, whether that be with alms, the scriptures. Okay, they have to edify. Okay, they have to come in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's essentially how they're going to be equipped. Okay, and they're going to understand this word and take heed to it. Right. So it says, verse 7, but we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that excellency of the power may be of the Most High and not of us. Right? So, hey, this power is of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh, not us. The Lord giving us this treasure in these earthly vessels, man. Okay? And by having that, what's going to happen? All right? It says what? We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Okay, and what does despair mean? Let's go into the word despair, because essentially what despair means is just a loss of hope, right? So it says expareo, right? And it says to be utterly at loss, be utterly destitute of measures of resources, to renounce all hope, be in despair. Yeah, so you just lost of hope. You don't have no more faith. Okay, you got the shit beat out of you, and you just gave up, right? You became faint-hearted, right? Doubt came in, right? I don't want to do it no more. You lost the fight, if you will, right? So going back, it says we are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Now let's go into the word perplexed, right? Because I'm pretty sure that's a pretty interesting definition. So it says apareo, right? It says to be without resources, to be in straits, to be left wanting, to be embarrassed, to be in doubt, not to know which way to turn, to be at loss with oneself, be in doubt, not to know how to decide what to do, to be perplexed. Right, so when we go back to this verse, it says we are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Yeah, because they're going to become a point in time where we're not sure what we're going to do. Okay, we're not sure how we're going to make it, and doubt is going to kick in, right? Because that's the flesh. Those are those demons that are going to harp on you in that day. But what? Hey, it says we're not going to fall into the spirit, meaning we're not going to give up the fight. We're not going to just be lost of hope. No, we're going to have hope, but we're going to have those moments. Yahweh Shai had his moment, all right? Yahweh Shai had his moment, before he was, put on that cross, and while he was on the cross, and so on and so forth. We're as long as we're in this flesh, you're going to have those doubtful moments, but you got to have the faith to overcome those doubtful moments, right? It says verse 9, persecuted but not forsaken, cast down but not destroyed, right? Meaning what? Okay, these two precepts alone, all right, is going into the word of resiliency, right? And let's get the word resilient. Okay, it says resiliency. It says resilience, tendency to rebound, right? It says act of rebounding or springing back, often of immaterial things. It says to back, to jump, to leap. In physical sciences, the meaning elastically, power of returning to original shape after compression. Right. So that being said, for you to be resilient, it's meaning you're being able to bounce back from hardships, bounce back from the trials and tribulations that you're going to go through. Okay, and us doing that, that's going to allow us to overcome this captivity. That's going to allow us to overcome this wicked flesh if we have the mindset of being resilient, right? It says, verse 10, always bearing about in the body the dying of the Lord Yahweh Shai, that the life also of Yahweh Shai might be made manifest in our body. It says, for we which live are always delivered unto death for Yahweh Shai's sake, that the life also of Yahweh Shai might be made manifest in our mortal flesh. It says, so then death worketh in us, but life in you. It says, we have the same spirit of faith, according as it is written, I believe and therefore have I spoken. We also believe and therefore speak. It says, knowing that he which raised up the Lord Yahweh Shai shall raise up us also by Yahweh Shai, and shall present us with you. Right. So we're gonna we die in this flesh. Apostle Paul said, I die daily. Okay, so as long as we in this flesh, we're gonna die daily. We're gonna feel low in the spirit. You're gonna catch hell, essentially, right? You're gonna feel it. Okay, you're gonna feel, the distress. You're gonna feel the demons. You're gonna feel negative energy and vibrations and so on and so forth. And if you don't cleave onto this ministry, if you don't cleave onto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, those vibrations, those demons, or whatever that you feeling, all right, spiritually and physically, that shit will consume you. But you have to believe the same man, okay, the same God of the Hebrews, right? The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that same power that raised up Yahweh Shai, you have to believe that he's going to raise you up also, man, okay? Because what? We were sown in corruption, but what? We're going to be raised in incorruption, all right? Meaning what? That we're going to be raised from this death of basically this body. We're going to be raised up, all right? The Lord is going to change us, right? That's the only way, because what? Flesh and blood shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven, man. So we have to be changed. But it starts with the mind. It starts within our spirit. It starts with the inward man, right? Which I believe in the same chapter is going to go into that. But it says, verse 15, for all things are for your sakes, that the abundant grace might through the thanksgiving of many redound to the glory of the Most High. It says, for which cause we faint not. But though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. Yeah, so this outward man, okay, pertaining to the flesh, the old man, and so on and so. That's being put off. That's being put to death. Colossians 3:1, it says, mortify therefore thy members. Okay, so all those things that you have to cleanse yourself of from the filthiness of this world, okay, all that is being put to death. But what? The inner man, your spirit, all that is being cleansed by this word, and you're renewing day by day. You're growing in the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and perfecting the hatred towards this place, man. Because all this place wants to do is destroy you, keep you in captivity, and keep you at a low vibration. But when you serve Yahweh Shem Yahushai, best believe Satan gonna tempt you, but what? You're gonna overcome that because you believe. It says, verse 17, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far exceeding and eternal weight of glory. It says, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal, right? And the things that we see here today, man, this shit is temporal. The job you working, the taxes you paying, the food that you eating, the chemtrails that you gotta see, the greenery, all of this shit is temporal, man. This shit is gonna pass away. All right. Esau, him being in the power seat, right? Seeing these other nations on top. Hey, man, that shit, them polluting the food, polluting the water, polluting the products that we have to put on our body for hygiene, everything, man. All right, all that shit is temporal. But what? The things that we don't see pertaining to the kingdom. Until the 12 tribes of Israel, right? The gates, okay? The streets paved with gold, right? The emerald stones and, the sapphire stones and all those beautiful, gold and jewelry. Okay, Israel being decked out, crowned, and the chariots, flying to and fro throughout the galaxy, right? Those are things that we don't see right now, okay? But best believe when that time comes, it's going to be eternal, man. All right, it's going to be eternal. Let me see. Oh, yeah, kind of want to get this. This is Romans chapter 8 and verse 35. It says, who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword? It says, as it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. Right, so we're conquerors. So all these things that was listed, tribulation, persecution, famine, nakedness, peril, and the sword, okay, we're going to conquer that through the blood of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach and through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. We're going to be able to conquer it. We're going to overcome this captivity, man. But it starts within the mind. It starts within your spirit, okay? So it's a thing called repentance, a change of heart, a change of the mind, okay? Being brought back, being redeemed, okay? Once you repent, then comes the redemption, okay? After your works, okay? And you overcoming this place, man. And the main point that I want to bring out for Revelation 2 and verse 25, man, speaking about overcoming, this is the last one I want to close out with because I don't have much time on this lunch break. But it says Revelation 2 and verse 25, it says, but that which ye have already hold fast till I come. What is that talking about? Okay, the faith that you have, everything that you heard, everything that you took notes on, hey, keep that dear in your heart, man, and hold on to it. Refresh your memory on the basics, okay? Know the Hebrew as much as possible. Know the scriptures, because those scriptures are what's going to keep your mind stable in that day to overcome, right? So we got to hold fast till the Lord come. Ain't no telling when the Lord going to come back, but we know he coming soon. And until then, you got to hold fast, even in that day, right? And it says verse 26, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nation. Yeah, so unto the end of Esau's rulership. Because we know what? Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning that follows. So that being said, knowing that Esau's rulership is the end, we know that Jacob's rulership is going to rule right after that. So until that's the ending, we have to endure. All right, and then it says what? The Lord will give us power over the nations, right? And it says verse 27, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of the powder shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. And I will give him the morning star. And he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches, which are the Israelites. So that being said, hey, we're going to overcome this captivity. And the ones that hold us captive, they're going to be captive. They're going to be in subjection unto us, man, because now is going to be the time for rulership of the nation of Israel, man. So with that, that's pretty much all that I have. Lord willing, that lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect, whoever may be out there that's tuning into these lessons. Call line Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah HaKodash, and double honors to our apostles, our elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Until the next time, I want to say, Kwame Yasharala, Love Ball, and Shalom.